Older did with like Jack Palance and Martin Landau.
Landau and Palance in a horror movie?
Yeah, it's really great. Donald Pleasance is in it too. The guy, one of the guys, it's about a group of people that escape from an asylum, and one of them is the serial killer they call the Bleeder, because every time he kills somebody, he gets a nosebleed. And like halfway through the movie, the family that's the main characters in the movie, one of the girls in the family meets this guy at like a protest rally, and he becomes like part of the hero group. And then at the end of the movie, he kills one of the insane asylum escapees and starts bleeding from the nose, and it's a reveal that he's the Bleeder.
I gotcha.
So this end of the line Valentine just totally flagrantly ripped that off. I watched Silent Rage for the first time since I was a kid.
That's the Chuck Norris one.
That's that's a horror film. It really is.
It is. Some pretty cool effects, but like way too much dumb shit in between, like love scenes with Chuck Norris. It's fairly sleazy for a Chuck Norris film. Lots of breasts and like the breasts of lots of different women. It's not just like an extended nudity scene or something. So
that was probably his prime fucking age. That's why he's just nailing all kinds of.
Yeah, wasn't that a Canon film too?
Yeah, that was Golan and Globus. I finally watched Jeepers Creepers 3.
I'm sorry.
It was bad.
It was horrible. It was also completely pointless.
He wanted to fucking risk having his name out to put this shit out.
It's basically a setup for the next movie, and which brings me to the next movie I'm going to talk about, which was Victor Crowley.
Fucking loved it.
Just a kind of a complete waste of my time.
You met the director and you saw a screening.
Yeah.
And
I bought the Blu-ray.
Totally unnecessary sequel. They should have left it as a trilogy. The gore is decent, but it's like sparse. There's a gore scene at the beginning, and then it's 45 fucking minutes until the next gore scene. There's a bunch of people on this fucking down plane, and they're just yelling back and forth at one another. The humor's terrible.
Well, in the first one, when they start taking the trip, there's not a lot of gore. There's a setup for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know about 45 or a half hour, but
the first one's just, I don't know, it's just better. This one is forced and just kind of like, oh, I guess I gotta keep my name out there. People are gonna forget that I exist, and what better way to do that than with the franchise that made me famous?
That's why we're doing this podcast
Plus,
today.
George Romero told me that I should do another Hatchet movie, and Wes Craven died, so I did. And that's why he made it, basically.
Yeah, that was his inspiration.
It's just okay. I mean, it's the worst one of the franchise.
See, I thought it was the third best. I would put
second to last.
1, 3, Victor Crowley 2.
I like 2 more, even though I don't like 2 very much. And one of the reasons that I segued into Victor Crowley with Jeepers Creepers 3 is because they both end pretty much the same way, with like the final girl from the first movie saying, "I'm gonna kill the monster in the next movie. You just wait until the next movie." And I don't know. It was dumb. I watched The Boogeyman for the first time, the Uli Lamel movie.
Oh, the newer Boogeyman, not the one from the 80s.
No, yeah, the one from the 80s.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah.
The weird mirror killer guy or whatever.
I always remember that scene where the kid like is in the bathroom outside the window. He's like, "Boogeyman," and then he dies. I remember that as a kid. I was like, I don't want to do that.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
That happened to me in my bathroom.
It's an alright movie. It's, it's worth a watch. Nothing great or anything. But rewatched the original Fly, one of my favorite Vincent Price movies, and one of the coolest sci-fi movies of its era, in like the Atomic Age or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great movie.
Pretty fucked up and disturbing film, with the guy losing his humanity and like, what are you doing?
Nothing. I was looking to see if I set my cigarette here.
I rewatched Rennie Harlin's Prison, his debut film. Really cool stuff. Another canon film. An early role for Viggo Mortensen and lots
Brian James too.
Who's that?
Brian James. He's in he's in that. He died. He's in fucking like Tango and Cash. The guy with the mole on his face. He's been in a lot of action films.
I guess I can't think of who you're talking about.
Brion.
There are a lot of people in prison, so it wouldn't surprise me. Like Kane Hodder. I mean, the movie.
Oh. Yeah, these goddamn politics over here in America.
Kane Hodder's in it briefly. Tiny Lister's in it briefly. It's really cool. Lots of good gore. Definitely the coolest movie that Rennie Harlin ever did, and he's done some cool stuff. Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Deep Blue Sea and the last... Oh, wait, no, that was Tony Scott. Never mind.
Yeah, I'll at least agree with Deep Blue Sea. Fucking hate part 4. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that's when it started sucking.
It is when it started sucking, but it's still okay.
No.
It's not as bad as 5 or 7, that's for sure.
True.
I watched Warlock 3. That
I'm
was
so sorry.
basically a complete waste of my time.
I haven't seen that one.
Except for, like, there is one really, really cool throat rip scene. Like, maybe the coolest throat rip I've seen.
That's without Julian Sands?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's the... I forget who he is. He plays somebody in something. He's, like, a bigger name now. But...
Mark Ruffalo?
It wasn't very good. Rewatched Pieces, which is excellent.
Excellent.
That
Just like a
movie's fun.
Such a fucking mess. but
mindless
so good.
exploitation rip-off of Maniac, basically. And that's... Okay, so a lot of people, they're always like, what's with the end of Pieces where the dead body, like, grabs the dude's nuts? Well...
Here we go.
It's a rip-off of Maniac, so that's a rip-off of the ending of Maniac when all of the mannequins with the scalps on them come and attack Frank Zito in his bed. And it's just, I mean, just do your homework, stupid. I watched Maniac Cop 3 for the first time since I was a kid. It's kind of a blemish on an otherwise, like, really great franchise. The first two are exceptionally good, and it's just not very good. There are a couple of cool scenes. There's a really great burn scene, but nothing special. Pretty much just for completionists or, you know, people that want to see everything. I guess that's the same thing. People that want to see everything. Shut up. Next movie.
He's degrading
arguing with
himself.
I rewatched Excision, which is awesome.
Never seen it.
It has... I forget her name, but she was in, like, that reboot of Beverly Hills 90210, and she was in...
How the fuck would I know that?
She was
How
in...
do you know that?
Because I looked her up, because I wanted to see what else that she'd been in, and other
And you're
than...
like, oh, here's my old favorite show I used to watch all the time.
Other than Excision, really nothing of note. She was in Nip Tuck a little bit, and that's a halfway decent show, but...
Never watched that either.
Excision's really awesome if you haven't seen it. It's one of this kind of newer crop of femme fatale movies that's popped up since... Hot Tension or whatever. It's about a weird introverted girl who wants to be a surgeon. And she's just like, I don't know, she's kind of like Dawn Wiener from Welcome to the Dollhouse, but
Oh, yeah.
even more weird and gross. And she has all of these like delusions and fantasies. Some cool cameos. John Waters is in it. So
Who's coming with L7 to Michigan, right?
yeah, I really want to go to that.
You're probably not going to be able to make that. There's a lot of shows coming up that you want to go see.
Yeah, there sure are. Excision's great. You should watch it if you haven't seen it. I watched the new Leatherface movie. That was fucking terrible.
I heard nothing but bad, so I never even checked it out.
I watched it. It was
There's
not
one
good.
cool gore scene where Steven Dorff gets, like, chainsawed, but that's really the only...
I guess I have a friend. His name's Ryan Doyle. Looks just like the fucking kid in the movie.
I thought that myself when I
Okay.
was watching it. I was like, huh.
Yeah, Hatfield posted that.
It's big, man.
Yeah, like that weird demented sex scene was kind of cool too.
Can we take a moment to
Oh, yeah.
to worry about Randall's lungs? Do you have lung cancer? Why do you keep coughing?
Because I'm talking a lot and I was smoking and my
I talk a lot and I smoke.
throat's kind of dry.
You just took a drink of beer.
It's not really a thirst-quenching beverage, is it?
I don't know. It stopped me from coughing if my shit was dry. When I'm all dried up.
All right. That's cool. Good for your pussy throat.
Well, just to let you know, I'm soaked in the front of my boxers right now. This is
Oh,
hot.
man.
This is a great conversation that we're having.
Rewatched Critters because Jennifer had never seen that.
What you think?
She liked it.
Awesome.
It's great.
Love that movie.
We're probably going to cover it eventually,
Yeah.
or the franchise in general.
Let's get that out. So it's our original idea before someone does it in a couple weeks.
Right on. Yeah, we've been kicking around the idea of doing a versus segment, or like
Episode.
versus episodes, and one of the ones we want to do is Critters versus Ghoulies.
Yeah, for the whole franchise.
Yeah. So we need 2
Because
weeks
they're,
to
you
do
know,
it.
4 films apiece, and
That's 8 films in 2 weeks.
we can do
can
it.
be
We
done.
can do that shit. Except for I can only do fucking 2 a week and not 3, but whatever. I wanted to change the format because 3 is sometimes hard.
Yeah, sometimes it can be tough.
I was watching the fucking last movie on my phone when they got here. So
I rewatched Maniac Cop 2. Really great sequel. One of the best sequels in horror history.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta rewatch that. Then.
It's really cool.
Bruce Campbell's in it.
Yeah, he is, but I watched a movie called Tales that Witness Madness for the first time. It's kind of a ripoff of Amicus, which was a ripoff of Hammer. It follows that Amicus anthology platform. Pretty cool, like, a bunch of people in an asylum. This is what they did.
What was this one called? Tales That Witness Madness?
Yeah, Donald Pleasance was in it. Rewatched The Hidden, another Jack Shoulder movie. Super, super great body-jumping alien serial killer, Kyle MacLachlan of David Lynch fame.
Yeah, this is the one that Jason Goes to Hell, which is kind of very similar to.
Yeah, New Line ripped itself off when they did Jason Goes to Hell. Really super cool. Alien that is obsessed with murdering people and listening to heavy metal, driving in fast cars. Pretty cool stuff.
Like Tracy Chapman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
From the 90s, I Drive a Fast Car.
Oh, I don't remember that song. I just remember the... You want me to stay here?
Yeah, that's the same chick. I'm glad she made the podcast.
I rewatched The Birds because Jennifer had never seen that. One of my favorite Hitchcock films and one of the big inspirations for Romero's Night of the Living Dead, along with Last Man on Earth. Kind of a... It's just going to keep happening.
He has cancer, dude.
Go ahead and,
He might not make it to the convention. Jesus, man.
Let's hope not.
Oh, my God.
There goes half my drugs on that day if you don't go.
Where was I?
The Birds.
The Birds. This movie almost cost Hitchcock his marriage. His wife was notoriously jealous of his obsessions with his leading ladies, and he had, a severe obsession with Tippi Hedren.
I just got his collection right there on the counter.
That's cool. There are a lot of earlier Hitch films that I haven't seen.
They're all 30s and 40s and early 50s.
Some of his silent stuff is cool. I've seen Lodger, which is basically kind of his version of the Jack the Ripper story. It's one of the better silent films that I've seen.
Yeah, I noticed he has 3 of them on that.
Rewatched Rawhead Rex, a movie that
I remember the fucking guy that was in that movie came on our podcast and was all drunk and belligerent.
Oh, he was an asshole.
Dude, Randy knocked him out again. He knocked out 3 people.
I know, and I've had to bury them all.
All of them.
Yeah. Santa, fucking...
That Irish dude.
And then
Mario...
Dario Sargento.
Yeah. They're all buried in my backyard, by the way.
And he posts shit like he's a white knight of peace and love, but he fucking keeps
murdering people. Rewatched one of Scott's favorite movies, The Editor.
Fucking love that movie.
Showed that to Zach and Cassie.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
a night that I wasn't invited. Oh, yeah, we watched last week fucking
Hanger,
and they're still talking about it.
Really?
Yeah, last time I was over there talking about it.
It's a pretty gross movie.
That movie's ridiculous.
It's one of my proving ground movies for people.
Yeah, that's what you said. It's fucking great, dude.
Yeah,
even though it's cheaply made, the lighting in it is just awful.
Oh yeah, it looks like shit. The sound is terrible. You can't make out half the dialogue.
Fucking entertaining and so hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you introduced me to that movie, and I at the time I was just like, what the fuck are we watching? But
for me, it holds up with almost any trauma stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Even better than a lot of it.
Yeah, better than some anyway. Better than almost all of the stuff.
Sorry, Lloyd, but you were in that movie, so
right.
I know he listens since we met him.
I rewatched The Serpent and the Rainbow, Craven movie.
Probably one of his best ones.
Yeah, top 5 Craven movie.
Got a movie prop in my bedroom. Zombie arm. From the movie.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
I do need to rewatch Swamp Thing, though, because that might bump Serpent and the Rainbow from my top 5.
Don't watch the second one, though.
I have the second one.
Return with the kids.
I love Return of Swamp Thing.
I watched it a lot as a kid.
With Heather Locklear?
Then I rewatched it. And it was...
We need to get a copy of that and have Adrian Barbeau sign it when we go to the convention.
Return of Swamp Thing?
Or regular Swamp Thing.
Oh. Don't give out our secrets for the convention.
I rewatched Redneck Zombies. Speaking of trauma films,
that movie's so much fun.
That's one of their better ones.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
it's pretty silly and just endearing, and it's
it's
do-it-yourself nature,
but it's guys from New York making fun of rednecks.
Right?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Yeah, super low budget fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yankees knocking the Rebels. Mm-hmm. I watched Night School for the first time.
Oh,